Justin, how are you, brother, man? It's been a minute.
I'm good, man. I'm good. Life's really fast leading up to these fights, and then as soon as they're over, it's really slow. I really enjoy both times. I'm a little bit bored right now, but just resting up the body.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at you, Justin, you would not have any idea that you were in a fight. Obviously, you look at Rafael Fiziev, and his face looks a little bit different. How were you feeling after the fight? Did you get through that all unscathed? And
Yeah.
yeah, it seems like you're kind of ready to go to get going again. What are we thinking for the rest of this year? Are you looking to fight once more, twice more? What's the plan? What's the blueprint for this year?
Yeah, I mean, I would say I was pretty unscathed. Blocking those kicks with my elbows swelled up a little bit, but yeah, outside that, I took maybe one or two, good shots to the head, which I'm very happy about. No cuts, stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I would say pretty, as far as compared to other fights, definitely unscathed, and
Were you?
compared to him, unscathed.
Yeah, for sure. Were you? Did you feel disrespected? It was weird to me leading up to the fight to see that bettors, odds makers had you at as the underdog, and I was a little confused by that.
Yeah, I mean, I was confused, but I definitely don't take that into account because it's not a factor when I step in there. It doesn't matter. But with the performance that I gave in the Oliveira fight, I understood it. And again, it's so this sport is the craziest sport in the world. Anybody can win on any given night, especially at the top of the food chain, like we're fighting at.
Right.
I kind of understood it. He's really flashy, really fast. They knew I would fight a stand-up fight, and they just didn't believe that I could win that kind of fight against him. My natural abilities, my athletic abilities, you know, second to none when it comes to being in that chaos.
Do you think that people, by and large, had written you off after the Oliveira fight? That you came very close to having that belt, but your time had passed. Is that the feeling that you got from people?
I would say so. I mean, we got some very, very fickle fans, I would say. They live by the seat of their pants. They don't go back and analyze past performances necessarily. Obviously the media and the people that are analyzing these fights, they do that. But in the broad sense, um, it's all about your last performance.
Yep.
And my last performance was not good. And so, again, I understood why they might have been leaning towards that. But, I'm one of the best in the world. I believe that. I know that. And it's easy for people to forget that sometimes.
Well, if they forgot or thought you were done, you obviously proved that you definitely were not done a couple weeks ago. So now you sit at number 3. There's talk about possibly, and I know people have expressed interest in seeing you and Dustin fight again. Obviously, that was an incredibly fun fight for the fans to watch. What do you want, Justin? What do you want to do from here? Who do you want to fight?
Yeah, I think that's the obvious choice, Dustin. He's sitting at number 2 right now. I gave the new guys a chance, and I proved that I am elite, and I need to fight elite fighters to fight for a belt. I think Dustin's the obvious choice. I think the loser of Dariush and Oliveira is also an option, but outside of those two, I do not see an option.
What do you think of a fight with Islam would look like?
Yeah, I think it's a hard fight. Hard fight for anybody. Obviously, he's the champion for a reason. Um, just create damage. I would have to fight a perfect fight, similar to the fight that I just fought, similar to the fight that I fought against Tony Ferguson, where I control space, and anytime they enter my space, I create damage, and that allows me the space that I need to perform. Obviously, a lot of grappling. I'm not going to become better at submission grappling than him right now, but the cardiovascular capacity that I would have to gain to fight that fight comfortably would be the primary focus. Absolutely. I think I can knock him out. I think I can knock anybody out, obviously, with the power that I possess.
How do you compare he and Khabib? Obviously,
Yeah, I think they're very similar. I think the biggest difference is Islam has been finished. He's lost a fight. He's been finished. And so that aura of invincibility is there, but it's not based on 100% facts like Khabib had. I think that's the biggest factor, biggest difference. Um, I think Khabib knows that, I create damage. I created damage in that fight. And, and Islam also saw that fight. So, I think it would be a game where he's going to it's going to be a very similar fight to the Khabib fight, but I need to not be on my back foot as much. And I need to create more angles and create more damage, early on.
It's funny, Justin, as I sit here and I say like the fight with Islam would be good, the fight with Dustin would be good. Then I realize it's just that any fight that involves you would be good because you always are obviously pressing the action. I saw you had Brian Ortega recently come out and say that Justin Gaethje is my favorite fighter. I think that's something that a lot of fans would say. What do you think of when you hear your peers, guys who have been champions, say things like
Yeah.
Ortega said?
Yeah, I mean, it makes me proud. Definitely. I think the mindset that I go in there with is definitely what, you know, other fighters, people that step in there are trying to understand and learn. You know, I don't think they don't have it. I just think that it's hard to understand what I'm doing or why I'm doing something, in there. It's hard to perceive the fight as it's actually. I thought I won all 3 rounds. I thought I created damage all 3 rounds.
Yeah.
He landed some body shots, but I don't think they were near as effective as the damage to his face and head that and to his leg. He was I guarantee he's probably still limping, and all of that was done in the first round. I landed 3 good kicks in the first round, and so when it comes to damage incurred, I think the damage that I dealt was much more than the damage that I received.
I still remember. I think you were one of the times you were here, and you did like a leg kick. No, literally no power, just touched my leg, and you could feel how terrible that would feel if there was any force behind it. So, let me get you out just a couple here more for you, Justin. You had Conor McGregor, I guess, kind of pull you into the news recently here. I guess it goes on social media and calls you handicap. People obviously offended, takes down the tweet. Still, Conor McGregor's got a lot of followers, and obviously people screenshot it. Any reaction to that?
No, no, I don't have a reaction to that. I'm cool. One of my best approaches in life is to make everybody think you're stupid, and then go into a conversation or a situation where you can take advantage of
Right.
them, feeling like that. So I think, it's plays perfectly into my hand. I love when people think I'm handicapped or dumb, and I could, that's not a guy that I do not believe I'll ever fight him.
Have you given up on it? I know it's something that you wanted a while back for a long time.
I just wanted to shut his mouth.
Yeah.
That was the only reason I wanted to fight him. He
Pretty
fought
good
Cowboy.
money too, right?
Yeah, I mean that's a factor,
Yeah.
100%. But I think that after I beat Cowboy, he fights Cowboy. I beat Chandler, he fights Chandler. I think obviously fans understand that, and they understand that he won't fight me. Plain and simple, he gets to choose who he fights, and he very specifically chooses not me.
Do you think he'll actually fight Chandler? As far as I know, we don't have a date for that yet. Do you think he'll actually get in there with Michael?
I think the UFC will make it happen. The UFC wants that to happen. They'll make it happen, one way or another.
2 more for you, Justin. I know you've always talked about, hey, I'm not going to do this forever. You clearly, could still continue. You're one of the best fighters in the world. But has retirement entered your mind, and do you have a roundabout date when you said, hey, I'm not going to do this anymore?
No, there's nothing in stone. I have never thought about retirement. I haven't thought about my life, after retirement.
Yeah.
I'm still working, for the goal that I've set for myself. So, I have people around me that I trust, my coach, my parents, my brother, my sister, my coaches in general that I trust would not let me go longer than I needed to. 34, I think we are at our peak, mentally, physically, between 34 and 36. So I can't see myself being done in the next 2 years, but I would say 2 to 4 years is definitely, a timeline that makes sense. I'm not trying to fight when I'm 40, and after 36, I don't see myself getting better. So we'll see.
Well, I'm happy to hear you say that, obviously, as a guy who loves watching you fight. When would you ideally like to, if this Dustin Poirier fight can be put together, when ideally would you like to get back in there, Justin?
Yeah, I think the winner of Dariush Oliveira is going to fight in October in Abu Dhabi versus Islam. So I would say anytime before that, and if absolutely necessary, then on that card. But yeah, I would say August, September, October.
With the title, with the winner getting a title shot?
Yeah, versus Poirier with the winner getting a title shot. Absolutely.
There it is. Hey, you can't beat that. That's about as good as it gets. Justin, thank you as always for your time, brother. I appreciate you, and I'm sure we'll talk soon.
All right, thanks, man.